So you're thinking about buying a family compound here in northern New Jersey. This video is for you. My name is Steven Van Ness, and I'm a local real estate agent here in northern New Jersey, and me and my family just made our dreams come true and we purchased a family compound of our own. So if we're talking about whether or not it's possible to do this, it definitely is possible. I'm going to show you guys exactly how we did it. I'm going to break down the numbers, show you how we got the money for it, and show you how you could do it on your own. So before we get into it, this is my first video on this channel where I'm going to talk about all things Sussex County. So I wanted to make these videos to show you guys what Sussex County is really about and kind of the lifestyle that we live out here and how it compares to our home back in Morris County. So we purchased this property just a couple months back for $1.1 million. Now, that might sound like a lot of money, but when you break it down, there were 3 groups of us involved in purchasing this. So I bought it with my parents as well as my sister and my brother-in-law. So 1.1 million divided by 3, you can see that it's not all that much money and it's probably doable for a lot of you out there. In fact, a lot of us even cut costs by purchasing this property together. Now, the one important thing we needed in the property was I needed my own house, right? I didn't want to live with my family. I wanted my own space, but my sister, brother-in-law, and my parents were okay living in the same house. My sister has a little baby right now, so they all wanted to be close together so that my parents could watch their grandchild grow up. And what better way to do that than on a 147-acre property? So we found this house, everything kind of aligned. We never thought that we were gonna buy a property that was this big. We were looking for something maybe 30 to 50 acres. But when this one came on the market, we knew that we just couldn't pass it up. So my parents and my sister and brother-in-law both had houses to sell. So we had to kind of line up 3 transactions at one time. We put my parents' house on the market, we put my sister's house on the market, then simultaneously we put an offer together to purchase this house. Now, it's a somewhat complicated deal, okay? A lot of times we deal with selling one house and purchasing one house. When you have to sell 2 houses to purchase one, there's a lot of factors that go into it, and you have to make sure that it's a smooth transaction because we really wanted this property and we didn't want the deal to fall apart. So that took a lot of negotiating, and we had to figure out how to make it happen on the back end. But at the end of the day, we made it happen and we couldn't be happier. So now let me tell you guys a little bit about the pros and the cons to buying a property like this. Right, we're not farmers. We're coming from Morris County where we own, half-acre lots, minimal landscaping, just a normal single-family home. And now we have 147 acres to take care of. So luckily, we bought the home with a farmer who was leasing out the property. They have some cattle, they breed donkeys, they have a little farm going, and they're able to take care of the barn area, they take care of the animals, so we don't have to worry about any of that, but there's still a lot of grass to cut and a lot of landscaping to do. On top of that, we have a huge driveway that is not paved. It is a gravel driveway, so that comes with maintenance. So when we're talking about the cons, if you're looking to purchase a property like this, you have to be aware that, if you're not willing to do this maintenance on your own, you're gonna have to pay somebody to do it. Now, luckily, me and my brother-in-law both love working outside. We enjoy landscaping. I actually worked for a landscaper through high school and college, so I enjoy working outside, I enjoy cutting grass, and it works out. But if that's not you, then you might wanna take that into consideration and figure out if you can fit that into the budget or if you can do it yourself. Now, if you do it yourself, you're going to have to buy some equipment. Luckily, a lot of times when people sell farms like this in northern New Jersey, they're either trying to downsize because they're an older couple, or maybe they're moving out of state to be closer to family and they want to sell a lot of the equipment that goes along with the farm. If that's the case, it works out pretty well because you typically get a pretty good discount on stuff like that. But if that's not the case, then you're gonna have to make sure you budget for it. Now, another con is that we're a little further away from what we're used to. So I heard of Sussex County as being, kind of in the middle of nowhere with nothing going on, no shopping, no restaurants, no stores, and honestly, that couldn't be further from the truth. Now, we might have to travel a little further, especially me for work. Might have to travel a little for good sushi spots or some really high-end restaurants that we like to go to, but in general, there is great food around here. There's really good barbecue. We have 1,000,001 pizza places and bagel shops and delis. We have a ShopRite that's just 10 minutes down the road. So if you are looking to purchase a property like this, typically it's gonna be in a more rural area. Now luckily, we're kind of on the border of Wantage and Hardiston and Lafayette, so we're still pretty close to Sparta and shopping centers like Newton. But if you're looking out further north, you have to be aware that if you're not used to living in a rural area, it's definitely going to be a lifestyle change. So that's why I definitely consider looking at your options, deciding what your price point is, and figuring out what location you want to be in to make sure that it suits you and whoever you're purchasing the property with. Now, I would say the pros definitely outweigh the cons in this situation. I mean, this has been, like I said, a very big lifestyle change, but for the better. The quality of life is much better. We have our own space. I can barely see my neighbors. We have 147 acres to roam and ride ATVs. I take my quad down to go fishing in the afternoon. I mean, it is pretty incredible, and there's stuff to do year round, right? We have a pond that's gonna freeze and we can do pond hockey on there. On the weekends, we have our friends and family come over to ride ATVs and go for hikes. I mean, it's pretty incredible. We never really thought that this was possible. But especially living in northern New Jersey, where we're still only an hour and a half away from New York City, we're an hour away from Morristown. I mean, there's still so much going on around us, but we have our own little slice of paradise out here. And it is really, like I said, a dream come true. So one of the big benefits is that we have all this space to host events, to have family and friends come over and just enjoy each other's company. I noticed myself spending a lot more time outside and less time on my phone, which I think is great. Especially if you have little kids and you don't want them growing up on their iPads, you want them to be outside and spend time in nature, this could be a really good option. Now on top of that, I'm close to my family. Like I said, I don't want to live with my family, and I'm sure a lot of you don't, but if you have your own house, your own separate space, you can close the door at night and know that you have your own privacy. But if you're a grandparent, or if you have kids coming on the way and you want your grandparents to be close to them, we're all right here, we all get to spend time together, and we can spend as much time or as little time together as we want. And I think that's really, really cool. Now on top of that, there's a lot of opportunities that come with owning a property like this. So most properties like this are farm assessed, which means we get a farm assessment from the state that cuts our taxes essentially in half. If we didn't have the farm assessment, it would become really unaffordable to own a place like this. But with the farm assessment, you have to sell a certain amount of products per year based off of the size of your property. Luckily for us, the farmers that lease out part of the land, they take care of all that for us. But on top of that, you could sell vegetables, you could sell honey, you could plant Christmas trees and sell them during the holidays. There's 100 different ways to make some passive income by owning a property like this. And down the line, it might be something that we look into. Now the other thing that we're looking into is potentially using this to host weddings. We have a beautiful property with a beautiful pond, and we think it would make a really good wedding venue. But there's a lot of stuff we have to figure out for that. We have to figure out parking, we have to figure out the licensing, if it's even possible. But if it is, it could become a really good business opportunity for us. Now on top of that, we do plan to improve the value of the property. So when we bought it, there was a lot of maintenance to be done. It was an older couple who just couldn't keep up with the maintenance anymore. And so we have a lot of landscaping and yard work to do. And just by doing that and improving the curb appeal, we're going to increase the value of this property so much. And if we do some minor updates inside, like paint the rooms, put new flooring down, possibly do a kitchen or bathroom, we could really end up making a lot of money on this property if we did ever go to sell it. The other cool thing is that right now, I believe that in the next 5 to 10 years, there's gonna be more and more people moving out of the city, moving out of the suburbs, and looking for a property just like this. So I think in this part of the state, we have an advantage, and we have the opportunity to potentially see a lot of appreciation over the next 5, 10, 20 years. So overall, our experience has been really, really good. Like I said, it's been a pretty big lifestyle change for us, but we could not be happier. We all get to spend time together. We have a beautiful property. We spend time outdoors. We're able to see our friends and our family more. All of a sudden, everybody wants to be your friend because you have this amazing property. Everybody wants to come and see it and hang out with you. It's really a really special thing, and I couldn't be happier that we did this. And I hope that more of you can look into this as a potential option. I think living with family is a great thing, especially if you can all pool your money together and purchase a property that none of you could do on your own, like us. I mean, it's really a cool opportunity. I want more people to look into it. So if you plan to do this, or if you just want to talk about it, see what your options are, I'm always available to talk about it. You can shoot me a call, leave a DM, shoot me a text. I look at everything, and I'd be more than happy to talk to each and every one of you, to give you more information on it and see if it's possible or if it's something that you really want to do. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.